You ever feel like no matter what you do, you just feel stuck, especially when it comes to women? You've watched the videos, you've read the books, you've tried every confidence hack out there. But when it comes to walking up to a woman who you actually want, something inside of you just freezes. And you tell yourself you just need to feel a bit more confident, get your life together more, hit the gym more, stack more wins, make more cash, and then you'll feel ready. But let's be fucking real, that day never comes. And look, all this stuff is not totally your fault because you've been fed a pretty big lie. You've been told that you need to build confidence before taking action. But that belief is exactly what keeps most men stuck, overthinking, overanalyzing, thinking one more video is gonna fix all their problems. This is the same position that my client Danny Danieri, fucking awesome name, once found himself in. The crazy part was Danny is a good looking guy, successful entrepreneur, had no problem whatsoever striking up conversations in everyday social situations. But when it came to approaching the women who he really wanted, he would freeze up like a deer in headlights. It felt like there was this invisible force holding him back. And afterward, he'd replay the moment hundreds of times in his head. What if I had just gone over? What if I'd have said hi? Then he would beat himself up for not taking the action. He'd tell himself, next time I'll go out, next Thursday, I'll go into my city centre, I'll do an approach. But then when next Thursday came, it was just the same shit on repeat. It's crazy, right? Especially when you know you're not some awkward kid anymore. You're successful, you're intelligent, you handle real pressure every single day. But in this one crucial area, you feel like a powerless teenager again. That was Danny. He spent years consuming content, reading books on evolutionary biology, human psychology, understanding female attraction triggers, but it was like he was trying to think his way into confidence. He kept telling himself he just needed to be more high value, more confident, needed to feel more ready. And while he was busy getting ready, other guys who were no smarter, richer, no more better looking than him would be taking action, approaching the women who he wanted. And it pissed him off inside to know he'd built all of this success, but in this one crucial area, he was still falling behind. And every time he missed out on another opportunity, it chipped away at his confidence, not just because he missed the chance, but because deep down, he knew he was capable of more.
I did a boot camp at the start of summer about 6 months ago. The reason why I want to do so is just an area of my life I haven't really addressed. I think it's quite easy to fall into the pattern of when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I was getting a little bit frustrated.
Because here's the truth, most guys never figure out. The more you wait to feel confident, the less confident you actually feel. It's kind of like waiting until you've got a six pack to start training at the gym. Your mind convinces you you're not ready yet, but this means you never get started. So after years of missing out on so many golden opportunities, watching women walk past him on the street and feeling like a closet heterosexual, not knowing how to actually navigate this delicate area of life, Danny eventually snapped. He realized confidence wasn't going to appear. He would actually have to create it. So because he's got immaculate taste and standards as high as the Burj Khalifa, he invested in a coaching weekend with me. And here's what he said after the experience.
I can honestly say doing this weekend was easily one of the best choices I've made over the many, many years. Doing this weekend has completely eradicated any problems or fears I had of meeting someone. It's allowed me to create opportunity and almost like not fall into that scarcity mindset. So I can honestly say doing this weekend was easily one of the best experiences I've ever had.
So now let me give you the 3 steps Danny did to break himself free. 1, burn the boats. Danny stopped fucking around and being half in, half out. Yeah, he invested a good chunk of money into his own transformation. The thing I found to be true in my life is the more you invest, the more committed you are, right? That's why free videos don't do anything, because there's no buy-in, there's no accountability. You don't lose anything by not acting on the information. But when you invested thousands of dollars into your own self-education, it's like, well, I've paid for this, so I need to make it work. Because investment creates accountability, and accountability kills hesitation. That's why once Danny was all in, once he'd invested thousands of dollars into himself as a man, into this one area of his life that he was still shit at, That's when approach anxiety was just not a thing anymore because he burnt the boats. 2. The Magic 100. During our weekends together, Danny got pushed into over 100 daytime cold approaches, and because he'd invested a shitload of money, he wasn't gonna refuse these approaches. This is how we turn decades into days. You pay a shitload of money, you get pushed into over 100 approaches. You're not going to have the same excuses. You're not going to have the same voice in your head like, oh, I'll wait for the next one. I'll do it next week. And like, no, motherfucker, the time is now. And look, fear didn't magically disappear. No, it dissolved one rep at a time. This is what most men completely miss. You don't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. 3. Success is contagious. After our coaching weekend together, Danny didn't go back to figuring it all out alone. No, as far as I'm concerned, that in-person coaching is just the beginning of our transformation. As soon as our in-person coaching was complete, I then introduced Danny to the Entourage. The Entourage is my private network of like-minded guys who are quietly hacking the modern dating game using my proven system, anti-game artistry.
I don't know a single other group of guys that can land in a brand new city, meet each other for the first time, and everybody have dates lined up within a day. When I landed, I walked up to a handful of girls. 2 girls that I met on the first day I ended up having dates with. So I met one girl closer to the end with Balthus actually, where he and I went out for our first session together. This is funny because this is the first time we met ever, and we both lined up dates from that session, which was really cool.
Inside the Entourage, Danny got continued support, guidance, feedback, and a community of like-minded guys who had already walked the same path and who refused to let him slide back to square one. Because let's be fucking real, left to your own devices, your mind will continue to convince you you're not ready yet. But having support from like-minded men who are on the same path and who also, like you, refuse to settle for a life of mediocrity, it just changes the game because success is contagious. Proximity is power. You've probably heard it before. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And the best part is today, Danny is in a long-term relationship with a woman he cold approached while solo traveling across Portugal. But his transformation proves something crucial. You don't need more time. You don't need more confidence. You don't need to wait to feel ready. You simply need to stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Because confidence is not built in your head. It's built through action. So if, like Danny, you're ready to finally break free from hesitation and start living the dating life you know you're capable of living, I've put together a free training that breaks down my entire cold approaching system step by step. This is the exact same system that over 200 men like you have already used to turn ice cold strangers into devoted lovers using nothing but their authentic selves. If you want it, just click the first link below this video and you can access the free training. It's completely free, so you might as well watch it.
For anybody out there who's thinking about doing this, thinking about trying this, just even wanting a new experience, speak to Kristian. He'll talk you through it. He won't sell you a bullshit plan. If you're willing to put in the work, he'll help you, he'll guide you, and you'll get results so much faster than you think. It's completely changed that area of my life where I have no problem at all. So anybody who's wanted to try this or do this, just contact Kristian. One of the best weekends I've ever had.